Say the hip hop.
A hibbit, a hibbit, a hibbit, hibbit, hobbit.
Don't
Stop
the
the
boogie
rabbit.
in the jam band boogie. Get up, jump the boogie. Now the boogie to the rhythm, the beat.
A skibbity-doo, beep bop, a Scooby-Doo. Come on now, America, we love you.
Oh, okay, he's spitting that fire. Talk your shit, kid. Go ahead. What? Wait, is that? Did you just off the dome, or is that an actual song?
No, that's part of the what's the Sugar Hill Gang? What's the Rapper's Delight?
That is part of Rapper's Delight. I
Part
only
of
know
it
the
is-
beginning.
Skibbity bop boop bop a Scooby Doo. I don't know if those are. I don't know if all the skibs and the beeps and the bebop boops are in the right place. But
Sure, it's an amalgamation.
it's
of that.
something of that sort.
Nice. I thought you were just spitting hot fire for a second. I was like,
Oh,
oh my
shit.
god,
Oh,
what have I
shit.
walked into?
Yeah.
That was incredible.
God. Hey, welcome to Cleveland Rocks.
It's America's
buddy.
favorite Drew Carey Show podcast.
Yeah.
Critics are saying.
Brought to you by America's favorite Drew Carey Show critics.
There you go. Yes.
Yeah.
We are the aforementioned critics.
we are the leading experts on it. We are.
I feel, listen, so we should make a note. This is episode 10. We've done, after this episode, we've done more than you can count on both hands.
Right.
I think that makes us more expert than a lot of people
Yes.
with regards to the
If
Drew Carey
we
Show.
make it through, we're very close to make it through the whole season.
Yeah. Now we just got
If
8
we
more.
do, then yeah.
There's just 8 more seasons
There's
after
8.
this.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you meant 8 more episodes.
No. We got 2 more episodes. The next episode will be the end of
The
season
end
1.
of season 1.
Ain't that kinda crazy to
The
think
end
about?
of the streamable Amazon.
Yes, I don't know how we're gonna find the other 8 seasons. I don't know what sort of magic we're gonna work up. Definitely not in a legal
Yeah.
stream.
Well, I did send a letter to who's in charge of this?
Mr. David Zaslav.
Is that David
I
Zaslav?
believe
Yeah.
it's would be the Warner Brothers people.
And Mr. Drew Carey himself.
Yeah, we should start tweeting at Drew. I
Yeah.
thought about that. He tweeted something about Pride Week, and I was thinking, or Pride
He's
Month,
back
excuse
on
me.
Twitter now.
Yeah, and I was thinking we
Because
should.
he had taken a break, and then Fish fucked his brain so
Yes,
hard that now he's
he had
back
to
on
go
X.
talk on X. Yeah. Yeah. It's a nice evening right here in New York City. Sunset's going to be coming, I think, right around when we're wrapping this.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful time of year.
yeah. It's God. Isn't that something? If we're just watching like a beautiful sunset over the Hudson River.
Yeah. Picture this: we're all of us, not just you and me, but the
Yeah.
listener, out on a park, just sitting on a blanket.
There's
just
a cool breeze in the air that
for
just
some
kind
reason,
of tickles the hairs
we
on
have
your arm.
decided to talk about the Drew Carey Show.
Yeah.
But that's it. You know what I mean? It's just all 3 of us just sitting. Maybe you're watching this or listening to this with more than one person.
Yeah.
You think
Maybe you're in Cleveland right now, and the last time you ever felt like you had representation in pop culture was
the 90s.
was this show.
Yeah. Do you think couples listen to this together? There's no way. There's no way that somebody's putting this on.
Well, it's like that. There's some guy who's like, "Honey, you have to listen to
Yeah.
this."
Yeah. No, they're hysterical.
Yeah.
Oh man. So we're almost at the end of season 1, as we said before. We have we got 2 more after this, but we are reviewing this episode, season 1, episode 19, Atomic Cat Fight,
Yep.
and then the episode 20, where we see Kate's mom.
Who got an applause like I was supposed to know who the fuck she is.
Right, and we didn't know. We did some research. We'll get to that when we get there. But,
Yeah.
I think it's a well-deserved little applause break. It does feel like they might have added it in post. It felt like a very abrupt sort of.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I never see like a sitcom, like how to go to a sitcom taping now. Like I mean, I guess we don't really live.
We
where
don't really
sitcoms
live.
are
No,
taped.
Los Angeles. I'm sure it's different. Or
But
if you're out in
like
Hollywood.
I don't know. Yeah.
Georgia.
Are people just like looking up their favorite? I mean, they don't really do studio sitcoms like this that much.
No, I'm trying to think of big. No, they don't. It's a bit of a dying breed right now.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it won't come back at some point.
Oh,
The
God, well,
Neighborhood.
I mean, The Big Bang Theory, I guess, was it.
I'm trying to think of other ones. The Neighborhood, like I said, there's they're gonna do something with young Sheldon, where it's about his brother
Wait, they have a Young Sheldon spin-off?
Yeah, the Sheldon expanded universe is expanding.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I saw a tweet that said white people don't call it a franchise anymore. They call it a universe when it comes to media. We don't just have franchises anymore.
No.
Yeah.
The Young Sheldon expanded universe.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's growing. It's Emily Osment plays the wife of his brother. I haven't watched any of it.
Who is that?
Emily Osment. She was the best friend on Hannah Montana. That blonde
okay.
woman. Yeah.
I know that.
Mm-hmm. You make the best of both worlds.
And make the best of both worlds.
Let's get into this first.
You want to get into the pod, dude?
Yeah, let's get into it.
You want to talk a little bit about Atomic Cat?
I want to talk about some girls getting pissy with each other.
Yeah,
I think that's very brave.
Wait.
Did you not get the title?
Well,
until
no,
right now?
I didn't actually. You know how you know the words of the something, but you don't actually like delve into what they mean.
You just got to the point of the title.
You just kind of read what. That's kind of how I read
That's
generally.
Fair. Yeah,
but no, okay, Atomic Cat Fight.
Atomic Cat Fight. So,
open with a carpool.
Yeah, we had. I guess the one caveat we should give, we talked about at the end of last episode, was Drew was left with a conundrum of who he's going to pick for this shopper job.
Yes. So it was between.
I think I said on the last one, I thought it might take until the end of the season to resolve.
Right away.
Nah. We know.
They were too worried about losing viewers.
Yeah. They
that
couldn't
they
do
were
a
like
4-episode arc on this shit. No, so you're right. Drew is in a carpool.
Well, no, but the problem being the three people he's going to hire either Lisa so that she can. It's for the personal shopper department at Winford Louder.
Yes.
And Lisa wants it, and it's a perfect idea for them because then he can start dating her openly.
It would allow
because
her
she'll
to
be
not be
management.
under him. Exactly.
Right.
She would be on the same title or position as him.
Kate just wants a promotion. She's his best friend.
She's a workhorse.
She's owned it.
She's been there for a while. She has earned it, I would say.
Yeah. And then
Mimi, just because Mr. Bell wants Mimi out of his life.
Yes.
That's really kind of what it is.
So, anyway, opening scene, they're in a carpool with Chuck, our security guard.
My
Chuck.
favorite security guard.
It looks like a bunch of other security guys.
I think that's what it
If you're
ended up
wearing
being.
a black suit and a black tie, you probably work security.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Chuck's driving, and they got it's like a German Shepherd, right, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, that's a German
Shepherd.
Shepherd.
Like a big, giant dog.
Oh, no. Okay, I thought you were just trying to recall what a German Shepherd looks like.
No, it's got like
a
a face and a tongue and a nose. No. I think it was a German Shepherd.
Yes, it was.
We didn't get a name, but Drew starts, pointing out that there's a dog in the car.
Yeah, and it's just taking up a whole lot of space in the front seats.
Chuck,
you ever ride with a dog in a car and it gets all in your face?
Oh my God.
They gotta. We used to have to because when we would take our dogs to the doggy hotel, which is just the kennel, but it was cute. We'd call it the hotel, and anyway, you'd have to hold them back like they were an angry mob.
Yeah. We had our family dog was a little dog, and she would just lose her fucking mind in the car because she associated we never took her anywhere fun, I guess. So she associated the car with the vet.
Oh boy!
So she would just go into a panic. But yeah, no, this dog's pretty chill by comparison. We find out
it just graduated from the
top doggy school.
The top doggy school in the country for canines, yes.
And it's the newest member of the security team at Winfred Louder.
Yes, remember the dogs that attacked Lisa and Drew
out
of
that
the
elevator? It's trying to be one of those. Absolutely.
So it is becoming one of those. And anyway, they start to play around with what the kill or sick 'em.
What the phrase is,
what
the code word.
What the code word is for attack.
Yes.
And they're kind of fucking with Drew.
Yeah.
They're playing a game and they're trying to guess the word.
He gets panicked.
And
they keep going, kill, sick 'em. And then he goes, I should have never shared a car with Chuck.
No. He says, I should have never called shotgun.
Wow.
He says, I should have never called shotgun. And then the dog turns to him and loses his shit. And then my favorite bit about it is cut to the titles. The title scene, and they're doing the moon over Parma, and the whole time Drew's like,
you hear Drew from the cold open screaming.
Getting attacked by
it's
a
incredible.
dog. It's
I can't believe I completely misheard that punchline.
Yeah.
And I have it in my notes as that, and I'm like, wow, holy shit, I don't know if anything's real anymore.
Yeah. No,
that's wild.
Should have never called shotgun.
That makes more sense than him calling. I thought
It would be crazy
It would
if
be
it
crazy
was
if
Chuck.
the command word was the guy's name, but that's what I thought it was, and I was like, that's weird. I thought he said
That
Chuck
would be
earlier.
reckless on
Yeah.
Chuck's part.
Chuck's got a death wish. So yeah, the titles roll. We hear Drew screaming, and then we get back into the office.
And Drew's suit is tattered.
Completely tattered. Lisa's taking care of him, trying to get him a new suit jacket.
Yes.
And yeah, she brings up, this whole situation about the personal shopper. And she goes, I don't have to bribe you, do I? But she has a bribe all ready to go. She's just going to go get it.
Yep.
Drew was very uncomfortable about this because obviously none of these women know the other is competing.
No.
So
That, to this point.
he's anxious about how
Yeah.
he's going to cross that bridge. He wants to do it delicately.
Right.
And almost like not with all of them knowing at the same time.
Yes. So Lisa goes away. Lewis and Oswald enter.
Yeah.
Can
love
we just talk about how fucking crazy, like, casual it... We'll bring it up a few more times, but they just waltz into Drew's office
It is
constantly.
the most pre-9/11 thing about this show that they're just letting fuckers walk around different office buildings.
You could just walk into the office space of the department store because you know a guy.
And the bit that they come in, and I wrote it down. Oswald is now the delivery man de facto, and he had a ticking package, and they were late to the office. They were late to the office they don't work at because they had a ticking package situation. And Drew goes, "Oh, was it just another clock?" And then Lewis goes, "No, it was a bomb."
Yeah.
And then Oswald said, "I still dropped it off at the airport." So
I got it to the plane, and now it's their problem.
I want a whole episode of just these
I
two.
just want to follow Oswald on just a regular
Throughout
day.
his day.
I mean, if you have like 8 more seasons of this, there has to be one ep where we're like, let's follow Lewis and Oswald.
Yeah.
And just see what
It's a
the
perfect
fuck is
pairing.
going
I think
on.
they're really kind of gelling them
Yeah.
absolutely into being just the weirdo duo of the sitcom.
Right.
So yeah, Drew basically explains the whole situation to them, which we laid out about, he doesn't know what he's going to do with these.
Yeah, seeking
Girls.
their guidance, their help.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
like
because I'm sure they're chock full of it. And before they can finish the conversation, Kate comes over, and Kate has a bribe for Drew. She made Drew-shaped cookies.
Yes, using her Santa Christmas cookie cutter.
Yeah, the dimensions are about the same. Some of them have, he's got a fuzzy sweater, and that is just her cat was walking around the kitchen today.
Yeah.
Couldn't keep him off of the cookies.
That reminds me of my favorite. Just one of my favorite Christmas memories growing up was my cousin brought in Christmas cookies, and his name is Bill, and he called them Edibills, and they were he's bald, and they were just like bald heads with his face on it.
Were they so it's just the head?
Yeah.
Were they printed,
just
or was
a-
it like he drew it in
No,
icing?
they clearly drew it in icing,
that's
and they
lovely.
just cut out his head shape.
Edibills.
Edibills.
I love that.
Yeah.
I commend him.
But they had, so anyway, they got the little Drew cookies.
Yeah.
And
Lisa comes back
Kate's trying to butter them up. Lisa comes back.
with a whole ass cake.
Yeah.
She got a whole little sheet cake sort of thing going. And this is where the two of them realize
They realize
they're
they're
both vying for the job.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of
And
intense.
because the way it comes up is like, oh, what would she be trying to?
I thought I had this on
I
lock.
thought and Kate was like, well, Drew promised me the job, and Lisa was like, oh, well, he promised me the job. So Drew really got fucked here.
It really got fucked. He didn't think through the fact that two of them were in the office together.
But the cake was for Oswald.
Yes. I don't. Is that?
I don't
we get a
understand
weird
if it was
tangent here where Oswald goes, "It is for me. It's not my birthday, but it's the day that it's the day that my dog died growing up. It was the same day I learned to drive." The implication being,
Yes.
it's nice, but I was confused by that too. If she had actually made it for Oswald, I figured no.
Yeah,
He
but
just
you know
saved it.
what? Then it does come back later in the episode. Well, Oswald clearly helps out Lisa in that competition, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, is she just trying to butter up the friends? Because that's another good tactic. You know, you
Yeah.
can butter up Drew all you want, but why don't you butter up the rest of the group?
The
Play
people he's going
do a little
to for
politicking
advice.
here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, she's infiltrating.
Yeah.
She's figuring it out.
I think that's
19
smart.
episodes in. So yeah, Drew doesn't really know kind of how to handle it.
but the girls are like, we're not going to fight over the job.
Until
she's throwing the ball into Drew's court, and Lewis is like, well, what if we provided a cage?
I love it. I love the idea of just, get in the pool, just we're all going to fight, duke it out. So Drew finally decides, here's what I'm going to do, because I have to also Mimi comes in, and I guess Mimi is upset,
and also, the explanation comes to them, too, that, like, Mr. Bell is clearly trying to shove Mimi down his throat.
He's done with her. Yeah. He's done with her. He doesn't. She sends, like, a bad image for him outside the desk. So Drew doesn't really know what to do with these three then. But he promises them by the next day at 1 o'clock he'll have an answer.
Yeah.
I think it's a fool's errand to assume that that's going to happen.
Right. Drew Carey is not going. Spoiler alert, is not going to have an answer for them, but he's going to try his darndest.
Yeah, he'll try his damnedest.
So the next few scenes. Next scene, he's interviewing this older gentleman from the store.
His name is Max.
84 years old.
Yeah.
And our intro to Max, he sits down across from Drew's desk, and Drew's like, hey, do you want a cup of coffee? And he's like, what am I, a cripple?
It's very hard-nosed sort of
Go to
old
hell.
Man. Go to hell.
Yeah.
We then learn in a conversation Drew has with Chuck getting coffee, he's decided he's going to try to get Max, who's the head of the cosmetics department, to step down from his position
so that he can promote Kate to be the head of that department, and then get Lisa the head of the other department.
And then everybody's happy.
Yes.
It doesn't go well. Idea, he tries to sell Max.
Max has been there for 54 years.
And he tries to sell him on the idea of, well, maybe you got to finally, he jokes, you get to see your grandkids graduate. Or,
he said retire. You get to watch your grandkids retire.
Yeah, and then we, in case you can't put it together, an 84-year-old man working as the head of a cosmetics department it doesn't have grandchildren. Just to kind of
as he
obvious,
says.
As he says. He says he refuses to step down for Kate. He would rather drop dead.
And then he stands up and then has a heart palpitation or something.
Something along those lines. And he grabs his heart medication and it falls on the ground right in front of Drew.
Yes.
Who kind of like waits for a second.
Yeah, Drew's like, so do you need these now?
Mm-hmm. And then he ultimately grabs it. And Max gives him shit for grabbing the pills.
Yeah, he's like, if you wanted that job for your friend, you would have kicked these under the filing cabinet, Nancy boy.
Nancy boy. I love, and it comes back again a couple times. I love the idea of calling somebody a Nancy boy. There's just something so like schoolyard about it.
Yeah.
Schoolyard in the 50s.
Nancy.
Even when he's trying to be nice, Drew is still getting dragged by an old queen of a man who's just out here seeing through his shit. So this is where Mimi, Kate, and Lisa all arrive and go, hey, it is 1 o'clock.
What's the deal?
And Drew has no answer. So Drew then decides...
Drew did try to tell Belle, too. He did
he tries
give
his
a
best.
call.
Yeah.
He tries to get out of it after the Max thing fails. He's like, he just calls Mr. Bell. And he's like, I can't do this job. My parents were killed by personnel sales.
Personal shoppers. Yeah.
And he's like, get over it.
Yeah.
Essentially. So, then they all come there. It's 1 o'clock. He hasn't figured out what to do.
Mm-hmm.
So
he devises a new scheme, which is, I'm going to make you all compete for it. Yeah. And whoever does the best job, when they all get a tryout as a personal shopper for some of the department store's toughest customers.
Right.
And they have to do the best possible job.
And whoever wins gets
the job. There you go. Easy done.
So, cut to
Drew in the security room. It's a big Chuck episode. I just want to say kudos to Chuck.
A lot of Chuck.
Yeah. Cold open. We get him talking about Max. We get him talking about with Drew with this whole thing. So Drew is spying on the tryouts.
Yeah.
From department store security cameras.
We do find out that Max knows and sees all, which you would assume, but with all he was like, oh, this is where, Lisa and I have our secret kiss here and here. And he's pointing at all the camera angles in the department store, slowly realizing that Chuck is on to the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We also learn about Bridget, who was flirting with Drew at some point. This is the show kind of showing its age politically a little bit. It is Drew was flirting with a transgender woman, it seems.
Yes.
So that's pointed out in less kind terms on this. It's a dude with boobs, basically. Yeah. So
who works in shoes, Bridget.
Yes. Yeah, Bridget.
Bridget in shoes. So
Chuck
transgender.
Says, good job on ducking that one.
Yeah.
So that's how we learned about Bridget. It comes back a couple times.
Yeah.
First up is Lisa.
Yes.
Lisa gets an kind of a stubborn older man.
Yeah, he's not. He's like probably midlife crisis age.
Yeah.
Like a handsome, maybe had one marriage already.
Yeah.
Clearly makes a lot of money, that kind of guy.
And his thing is he's just sort of like, I don't want to do it. Like he's kind of annoyed at the idea of
I don't want to try on clothes.
Right.
Which I used to be that guy when I was a kid. Do you remember like I'll do it now, but like it wasn't all that long ago, maybe a few years ago, where I'm like, fuck, the fitting room. Really?
I still sometimes get like that because I don't know how you feel with shopping. Sometimes it's a struggle to find something for a short round man, so I just get frustrated at the clothes.
Yeah.
I'm just like, fuck this, I hate this.
I do that with like suit shopping.
Yeah.
It'll never fit me right, so like if I go in, I'm like, fuck no.
Is now a good time for me to segue into I want to talk about the glory of the executive fit suits. Have you tried these?
Oh no.
So I went to a wedding a couple weeks ago, and I was shopping for a suit jacket. And I got issues where they just won't fit around the belly. I'm too big. Mm-hmm. They have an executive fit, which is designed for portly men. It's literally like a suit jacket with just a little more width in the stomach area.
Why is this the executive fit?
Because we like to, I'll say it, we like to make fat guys feel like they're not fat. It's like athletic fit jeans. I don't know if you wear athletic fit jeans. I do. I ain't an athlete. Let me tell you what. Not even kind of. Executive fit.
The
I feel like
executive
the man.
fit. I wasn't sure if like the implication be like I feel like always in like cartoons the big bosses are always
absolutely.
like I think of like the Penguin.
Yeah, I always
or
think
not
of,
the
like,
Penguin. Who's the other guy in Batman?
I think of the conductor from Thomas the Tank Engine for some reason. Like he's just some big round guy with like a weird little eyeglass.
Yes.
Oh, everything's running on time.
The
like,
mayor.
Yeah, the mayor.
The mayor from The Simpsons or something.
Quigley.
Quigley, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I just want to preach the executive fit. I now am an executive.
Yes.
I'm an executive of something. I don't know what it is. But yeah. No.
Executor of the will.
Yes. Of my will.
Of your will.
Yeah.
You're the
I'm
executive
the executive of my own will.
Man.
So anyway, but I still agree. I agree with this guy that it's less fun to shop for clothes and to try things on. I just kind of want them. Lisa anticipates this.
Yes.
Lisa's
already showing
Lisa is
instantly
on top
she's
of
good
her
for
shit.
this job.
Yes. She has spoken to the man's tailor and figures out that he has a perfect 1-for-1 match
with
who is
none
Oswald.
other than Oswald.
So she starts playing techno music over a boombox and puts on a light show with flashlights.
Yeah.
And Oswald walks the runway that is the hall of Winfred Louder for this man. He gets a full look at how the suit fits in the seat, in the crotch, and all of this.
Yeah, well, the guy's like, is that tight in the crotch? And he's
free as a bird.
Free as a bird. And then the guy's like, how's my butt? And Oswald bends over. And he's like...
he's just showing off. So the guy's very happy.
The guy says, I'm surprised we don't get more action. And Oswald's like, you're telling me.
I love Oswald, man.
God, it's so good.
Oswald's the secret, like, little, success pill. I don't even know what I'm thinking.
Right. Like the Kramer chaos coming into every scene.
Absolutely, yeah.
But so anyway, that goes over well. And then the guy stands up.
Yeah.
And the final button is, hey, how about coming out to dinner with me tonight?
Right.
He asks Lisa to go out to
hitting
dinner.
on Lisa.
Yeah.
Which is the opposite of what Drew wants out of this whole thing. So Drew, in a panic, makes an announcement saying no flirting on the floor.
Yeah, no flirting with the staff.
Mm-hmm. And Lisa very smartly passes along a phone number for Bridget in Shoes.
Oh, Bridget.
Yeah. It's a nice little button on that. So that's Lisa's audition. We then go to Kate, who is having a less than great time with a very indecisive shopper.
Dare I say, Kate has some anger issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she lacks patience. Yeah. It's to be fair, it would piss me off too. It was a woman who was deciding between two pairs of white socks. One of them's ribbed, one of them's unribbed or normal, whatever.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure whether one was white or one was like white.
No, they were both white. It was just ribbed or not. And the woman couldn't make up her mind about it for her husband. So Kate's just pulling out her hair.
Yeah.
Losing her mind. I don't know if you had this when you were writing down your notes for the whole thing. Lisa and Kate, too similar of names for my stupid brain. Sometimes I mix them up in my notes.
I mean, they're the same number of letters.
They have one A. The rest is no reason. They ended a vowel. Sure, I guess that's it. You know what? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. It was a thing that I noticed. I was writing notes. I was like,
I'm not mixing. I mean, granted, I'm mixing up. I'm horrible at names.
We're still calling Lewis Ryan. Yeah.
I'll never get over that. God.
But yeah, Kate's kind of struggling with that. That kind of doesn't really go anywhere. She tries a bunch of different things, like I'm going to put up behind my back, and you pick left or right.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work with the woman, so she's unsatisfied. We then go to Mimi, who, if
we thought Kate had anger issues.
Yeah, and if we thought Mimi dressed crazy.
Oh my God.
Mimi has an older woman.
I mean, that really was the beautiful irony of this was they're in like the teenager section of the store, and it's this woman who looks like she's probably 60 years old.
Yeah.
Trying on teenager clothes.
Right.
Talking about how she's kept her feminine body.
Mm-hmm.
And
also just keeping up with the times.
Yeah.
And Mimi tries to point out that she looks insane, which, again, the great irony in this whole thing.
And she's like, why don't I take you up to where the adults shop? Mm-hmm. And she was like you could see her getting physical.
What are you, my mother? The woman goes, and then Mimi goes, I hope not, because then I'd be 1,000 years old. To the point where Mimi physically assaults the woman. She punches her in the face. Yeah.
She's got a good right hook.
She really does.
She's got a follow through.
We posted in a podcast and I think on an Instagram clip a while ago who would win in a fight, Drew or Mimi.
Mimi.
Fucking hands
down.
Mimi
cleans up.
Absolutely.
Mimi could fight the whole cast.
Yeah.
The only people that I'd give, I don't know. I guess like a Jay is probably strong.
Jay could because of the moving. I think Jay could hold his own. Chuck, but Chuck also has that dog and probably some weapons. We see a taser. So, and Chuck ultimately does
weapons.
have
to. I like the idea of this now as like one of those WWE fights where one of them pulls a chair out of the audience.
Oh no! Yeah. So, in case you couldn't guess, physically assaulting the person you're working for takes Mimi out of contention immediately.
Yeah.
Chuck goes to break it down.
And then Kate and Lisa show up while Chuck goes to break up the Mimi thing. Kate and Lisa show up to Drew in security. They knew he was watching. And they're like, so who won? What's going on? Like, we're sick of this game.
And Drew Carey still cannot decide. God damn. So he comes up with, they are both sick of it, and they go, fine, how about we compete one-on-one? We both get the most difficult person you can find.
Yes. Mimi storms in handcuffs tied to Chuck, and she's like, I got to go down to the courthouse and make a statement, but
but if I won, you better, whatever.
Yeah. So, and then Drew's like, her.
Yeah. So
the
next
competition now becomes Kate and Lisa have to shop for Mimi.
So the next day we get it, the one-on-one.
Cut to the next scene.
Sorry,
there's
something I'm leaving
Oswald and Lewis again, just hanging out.
Shooting the shit at Drew's desk. They're shooting the shit about, I want to say it's Lewis's mother. I wasn't honestly really even paying attention to the bit.
I didn't understand. Well, we don't know who it is at first, but he talks about showing up to the delivery. Oswald talks about showing up to delivery, and she's like, and she was totally naked.
Yeah.
All 600 pounds of her. And Ryan's like, I should have warned you about Grandma.
Yeah. Oh, Grandma. That's what it was. Yes. But yeah, just I do love that they can just kind of fuck around.
They're just hanging
out
in the
Because we do know
office.
Lewis also has a job.
Yeah.
Where is he working?
Where is Drugco? He's never come in a uniform.
Yeah. I've never seen him in a janitor uniform.
Oh,
at least Oswald's wearing the costume, pretending to go through the motions.
Well, I really like the whole thing too with Lewis is they're just giving him drugs. Earlier in this episode, they were running trials on a drug that made you depressed but chatty.
And he just won't shut the fuck up about the drug. It's very good.
Sounds like half the people in New York, young people in New York, are taking that drug.
They're calling it the dime square pill.
Yes. Listen, depression's in vogue, and we also, we like to talk about ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about, we as the general New Yorker.
Right, exactly. Not us.
Not us.
The two of us have no
The two of us on this podcast do not like talking.
No, not at all. Enter Drew. We now have the kind of the competition sets in. So Mimi, Mr. Bell's office is where Mimi changes. Kate is up first. Mimi, she dresses Mimi in a very sensible sort of gray pantsuit.
Yeah, she frankly is dressing Mimi as she dresses.
Mm-hmm.
And
how a woman at an office would dress.
Yeah, and Mimi just hates it. You could tell instantly she's like, oh, everyone's like sexualizing her in this outfit. She looks good.
Yeah.
She looks like a regular like person in an office.
Absolutely.
But she's like, you're undressing me with your eyes, and the whole room was like, ooh.
It feels like she just wants to rip it off. She hates the whole thing.
So then she goes back in and tries on Lisa's outfit.
Enter Lisa, who dresses her in one of the craziest fucking Mimi thing you've ever seen in your life.
She had a fucking planetarium on her head.
Yep, a rotating little spinning solar system on her head. She got this bright blue sort of, I think there's like a cloud skirt or something. Like, it was the whole nine, outlandish.
And Mimi was in love. She wore it home. Yeah. My favorite line was her walking off in this ridiculous outfit saying, God, I hope that weird woman doesn't sit next to me on the bus.
I missed that. That's good. So, obviously, Kate wins. That was the interpretation. But the important question from Drew is how does Mimi feel? Because
for a personal
shopper, how does the person feel? And Mimi gives it to Lisa.
Yeah.
So that solves it. Lisa understood what that woman wanted. Lisa deserved the job.
Lisa knew the job. Kate has some. This wasn't for her.
No.
She has some growth to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
She didn't understand what personal shopper was. I didn't understand what personal. Have you ever heard of this in your life?
No.
Where I guess
that the
must
idea
have been a
that
thing in a department
else...
store where like you go in and they're like, oh, you will give me like wine and snacks and go do my shopping. I'll tell you what I want and you figure it out.
It's kind of like a human algorithm pre-internet. You know what I mean? Like that's what this is.
Yeah.
It's just if you have the money to afford it, whatever.
Yet another job lost to AI.
I hate it. I hate it. ChatGPT's taking these department store jobs. It ends with Drew giving Kate a little trophy that says Best Manager in Training. Salute to Kate.
Salute.
She'll get it. Oh, the credit scene is Oswald flirts with Bridget from Shoes.
Yeah.
Who?
Bridget?
Pretty
kind of
looking.
A smoke show.
Pretty good looking.
I don't. You know what? I get it.
Yeah.
And everyone's laughing at him. I think because they're all watching from Chuck's security camera. My favorite line was Lewis is like, funny thing is, we saw her in the bathroom earlier too. So.
End of the episode. I thought it was a pretty good resolution. I liked it. I thought it was a fun ep.
I love this show. I love them all.
It's really nice.
They've all become my best friends.
Yes. Yeah. Me and my 4 best friends, and sometimes my best friend's mom.
Yes.
Like with this one, episode 20 is called Drew and Kate's mom. Pretty unoriginal. It just kind of that's
just again. Back to this, sometimes it's a scientific title, sometimes it's matter of fact.
Yeah, sometimes it's just
Drew's new assistant, Drew and Kate's mom.
Mm-hmm.
So, open up, we're in Drew's house. One thing, can I just say, Drew has a trumpet hanging on the wall. You notice that?
I didn't notice that, no. In the living room?
Yeah, in the living room.
Is it like by the closet?
It's by the front door.
Oh.
As if he has, like where you would put a jacket. As if you ever have to grab your trumpet and leave.
Well, sometimes.
Or you come in and you hang your trumpet.
Sometimes somebody arrives and you need to announce that they have arrived.
Yeah. It gives me big TGI Fridays energy.
Mm-hmm. Now we're gonna blend because I'm going to talk about a sitcom I haven't watched. Isn't there a thing with How I Met Your Mother and an instrument on the wall?
I have never watched it.
Somebody tells me. I'm sure somebody is screaming.
Somebody
right now.
write in.
It's like a purple trumpet or something that's
on
also,
How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, it's like a big plot point, or not? It's like an early big plot point. I haven't seen it either.
How I Met Your Mother.
Hey.
Oh, How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, I'm gonna meet your mother over here. I'm gonna meet your mother over there. Drew has a trumpet on the wall, but in this moment,
that has nothing to do with the scene.
In this moment,
he's
greeting Lisa,
and now they can date.
We realize he opens the door. There's like a grand opening ribbon at the front of his door that he gets to cut.
Yeah,
because their relationship is open.
It is fine. Well,
he says that, and I'm like, I don't think that means what you think it means.
Different. Well, back then they were all about. They didn't know about.
They weren't on that polyamory.
Yeah, this was before Facebook, and you could put open relationships. Yeah, exactly. That's when open relationships really met the mainstream conscious.
Yeah,
was whenever everyone was on Facebook, and they're like, "What is this?"
Wait, can you explain?
Oh, man. Anyway, yeah, so Lisa is coming over. They're having dinner, and at first we think it's just them, but we hear Kate
kind of screaming off camera.
Yeah, and we go to the kitchen, and Kate's in there burning chips.
Yeah.
And we find out that she's anxious because they are having dinner, the three of them, with Kate's mom.
Yeah. She's dressed in all of the clothes that her mom has given her.
Kate's mom's name?
We do. Her mom's name, I believe, is Lynn. Yeah, Lynn.
Okay, I thought we were just calling her Kate's mom the whole time.
I mean, we can.
We will. I won't remember Lynn.
No, I don't think we're going to need to. I don't think she's recurring.
But yeah,
she's like very worried about her mom coming over. It seems that they don't have the greatest relationship. She's dressed in all of the clothes that her mom has gotten her over the years that she hasn't seen in person.
Yeah, I think Lisa said, what is it, Soviet Housewife Day?
Yeah.
She has all these like polka dots, and then she has like a skirt that almost looks like there's skiers on it, or maybe it's a floral pattern.
Making a weird pattern.
But anyway, yeah, so she looks absolutely ridiculous.
She insists when she hears the doorbell ring and it's her mom that they don't talk about Jay. Don't even bring up Jay, all this stuff.
Because she's saving, I guess her mom is too critical over her boyfriends. She's protecting Jay. She's protecting the relationship.
Right. Just don't bring it up. I don't want to get into it.
Yeah.
So enter Kate's mom, Lynn, who's played by a woman we did not know who got an applause break.
Yeah. Big applause break. I was like, am I supposed to know who, like...
So it is actress Susan St. James. Susan St. James, she is...
Cleveland legend.
Cleveland legend. She's born in California, but Cleveland legend. Her Wikipedia page, it's a lot of sitcoms that like we probably have not watched. I don't think I have. Macmillan and Wife is a detective series she was in. She was in the sitcom Kate and Allie in the mid to late 80s. She's married currently to Dick Ebersol.
Dick Ebersol?
Yes, that's the one thing that I took away from reading a Wikipedia page. Do you not know who Dick Ebersol is? He's an NBC exec. He was a big NBC sports guy. Like he's basically the reason that the Olympics is such a staying force for the network.
Why is the first thing that comes up Dick Ebersol plane crash?
Oh no, is he dead?
No, he survived the plane crash.
Oh, maybe his wife died and then he remarried. Oh,
in 2004.
Oh no. Oh, he
holy
survived
shit! There was a plane crash in Colorado. This NBC exec survived.
Oh, and this is how I know him. He used to be the guy who did late night for NBC. So he was like the guy who like approached Lauren to start SNL, and then there's a little bit of him with Letterman.
Wow.
Yeah, and then he did NBC Sports.
Wow, he's got a pretty
later
traumatic...
with Bob Costas. Oh my God. Anyway, Susan St. James. Fun little twist. Susan St. James is the aunt of Krista Miller, who plays Kate. So, in case you're wondering why they look so much
alike. I was like, this is a great casting.
Yeah, it's her aunt.
Because like Drew and Drew's dad didn't look anything alike.
I was gonna say I don't know if that's true though. That I feel like women generally look more like their mothers than men look like their fathers.
Look like their
I feel like I don't look anything like my dad, but I also have disguised my face well enough.
Yeah, I feel like I see similarities with you without the beard.
Yeah, if I lost the beard and glasses, maybe.
Yeah. You without the glasses.
My dad tans really well,
you and your
though.
dad have similar eye shapes.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Anyway.
But anyway, yeah. So this is her aunt Susan St. James, but we're gonna call her Kate's mom.
And this whole time I was wondering why the fuck are they having dinner with Kate's mom?
Yeah.
I get that they were all like childhood friends in the neighborhood, so like they've all known each other a long time. Turns out Kate's mom is also an accountant, and she is specifically Drew's accountant.
Yes, and it's tax season.
Yes, so she comes into the kitchen, and Drew makes a place to get her his receipts. And he brings over a pizza box.
A nice little box of pizza, but it's filled with paper.
Filled with papers, and it's filled with... And she starts going through the papers, and she's like, what are these? Drew, these are warranties. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry.
My bad.
And
so
he closes the pizza box.
He takes it to the top of the fridge where we see
like
six different boxes.
And they're all labeled on the ends.
He's
like
got
a filing
he's got
cabinet.
warranties. He's got coupons, big ideas. My favorite was things that look like arrowheads. He's just got a bunch of pizza boxes. This is his filing cabinet.
And then he pulls out his receipts pizza box, and he opens it up, and there's a slice of pizza in there. And he's like, yes. And
you naughty boy.
He eats that.
I like the idea. I like that he called the pizza a naughty boy.
Yeah.
As if the pizza wasn't supposed to be in the pizza box.
You've been bad.
That's where the pizza lives, though. The pizza slice did nothing wrong there, Drew.
Just started throwing his receipts into that box before it was even eaten.
The first receipt was just for that pizza.
Oh, man.
Titles play. Then we are at the Warsaw, I want to say. I can't remember where this scene
we're
was.
at the Warsaw, and they're talking about the B plot of this episode. Is Lewis is trying to become Oswald's legal guardian
for tax reasons.
They
think that if they can prove that Oswald is mentally incompetent, so mentally incompetent that he needs a legal guardian in his life, that Lewis would be able to cash in on him big time with, I guess, the work that he does.
What these schemers?
It's
what a fucking.
It's fantastic. I love the idea, and then he keeps calling him son. Come to daddy.
Yeah.
And we just get a bunch of weird shit then with this father-son dynamic between the two of them. It's at this point that they're talking about the night before, and Jay enters.
Yes.
And Jay is under the impression that Kate's mom is
in
like,
a mental institution.
Yeah, it's like in a loony bin.
Yeah.
And that's why, they're like, hey, don't talk bad about her mom. It's not her fault.
Because, like, Lewis brought it up about, like, the taxes. And, again, Kate's mom being the accountant. I forget how Jay got wind at, like, but Lewis didn't realize that nobody did.
Nobody knew that she was lying to him.
That she was lying to him.
Right. So then he now feels some type of way that she lies to him about this. And he's
like,
worried,
what do you not want me to meet your
is
mom?
it something about me? And then Kate explains, no, she's very hard on all of her boyfriends, which, look, we've watched one season of this, but from the boyfriends that we've seen before Jay, I think she has a reason to be a little like,
Yeah, well, and also we inevitably find out why she is kind of that way, as it might have something to do with a Mr. Drew Carey, but we'll get to that.
So Kate kind of feels bad and goes, okay, well, fine, her hand's forced. Well, let's have dinner with my mom, and you'll see how bad it really is.
Yeah. So
and it's pretty uncomfortable. We go then to the dinner.
And it's at Kate's mom's house. Big dining room table. Everyone Drew's there. Jay, Oswald, Lewis, and then Kate. Yeah. And they're all having cockle stew.
Yeah.
And they cannot.
And Oswald and Lewis love that they're having cockle stew. It's fantastic.
Cockle stew, I guess, is a mollusk soup. Like a mollusk
snail?
being more like a clam.
Oh, okay.
It's more like a clam, and it's a seafood, a cockle. And they cook it with like potatoes and carrots and shit.
And all in the broth.
Yeah,
So they were having clam cock stew.
Yeah, clam cock
stew.
Cockle stew.
Cockle stew.
They loved it.
And Mrs. O'Brien, Kate's mom, ends up being pretty forward and harsh with Jay, asking
Right
questions
away.
about, like, she offers anybody want like a nightcap basically, and she goes, "Do you want the whole bottle?" implying he's an alcoholic, and asks about how his divorce went.
Well, the way the divorce comes up that's key for me, because Jay does the good guy thing, and he's like, "Let me help you clean the dishes," and she's like, no, sit down. And she's like, well trained. What was it? Raised by a single mother or divorce? And he was like, a little bit of both. And then that's how the divorce thing came out.
The questioning comes in to the point where Kate kind of creates a distraction.
I forgot. So Jay's only been divorced for 4 months?
Yeah, well, that's how long their relationship's been going on.
That's
I
crazy.
guess so. That means that we're in April then, because they started dating like the December, January, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's only been separated for about 4 months, which, again, as a mother, I get that concern a little bit.
Totally. That's a little, I when they were bringing up the reason she was a little hesitant, I was like, yeah, because even that, well, we'll get to it in a second. So she's looking for problems with Jay.
And then Kate's
basically
goes, "Hey, let's go look at my
see
childhood
room."
bedroom.
Yeah.
They all run up, except Drew.
Yeah, and then Kate's mom starts grilling Drew about Jay, and at first Drew's like, "Oh, Jay's not gonna hurt her. He's my best
I've
friend.
known him since high
I've known him since high school." And then she's like, "Well, what was he like in high school?" And he was like, "Oh, well, he broke a lot of hearts."
Yeah.
And
He's a
so you do
womanizer.
realize maybe Jay is a little bit of a womanizer, or at least was.
Yeah.
So yeah, I totally get
Her
why
concerns.
she's concerned now.
For sure. And yeah, and then it basically ends with Kate's mom asking Drew if he can kind of talk to her about it at the office, I guess. I don't even know what they're really going to talk about, but she wants him to bring it up to her that she's got issues with him.
Yeah.
It's like such passive aggressive roundabout bullshit between a mother and daughter. I do understand that, I guess, if Kate's aware that her mom is like this.
Yeah.
But it puts Drew in a really awkward position. We also she basically forces Drew to confess to things, and she's got a stranglehold over him.
Who painted pubic hair on our garden gnomes.
Drew confessed to painting pubic hair on the garden gnomes.
That's good.
Mrs. O'Brien.
What a good prank.
Yeah, honestly, it's pretty good.
Just go.
Yeah, so was there enough space then between the shirt? Did we see a little belly? I'm trying to figure out where he would have painted the pubes.
Or it's just so long it's popping through the clothes.
It's coming through the shirt.
It's just
yeah. I don't even think that's a full. That's not even a bush. That's a tree.
Yes.
If it's coming through the top of the shirt. Jesus. So then we go to the office, and Drew kind of approaches Kate and goes, "Hey, I talked with your mom last night, but she's worried about you getting dumped. Dump. Brings up a bunch of different dump truck. I think.
So anyway, Drew's sowing a little doubt into Kate here.
A little bit. Well, her
but
mom is vis-a-vis her mom.
Yes, and then what do you know? Jay comes in,
Right.
and Jay's like, "I gotta cancel dinner or whatever our plans were this weekend. We got an out-of-town move for a guy that's leaving his girlfriend when she's at work."
Yeah. Yeah. And Kate is at this point in a bit of a panic mode about just questioning life and her relationship, and her mom's in her head. So she kind of pushes back and is like, "Oh, well, can I come with you?" And he's like, "Oh, there's no room in the cab," and this, that, the other. And she starts pressing him on, what is this relationship to you? How long do you see this lasting? And Jay answers like a divorcee, man. He just
shuts down.
"Well,
he's
I told my ex-wife forever, but you look how that went."
And he's like, "Don't push me," and she pushes him just a little too far. And then he walks out.
He walks out. He goes, "This ain't gonna work. I ain't gonna take this."
Yeah.
And he leaves the office. And Drew sits there watching the whole thing like a car crash. Just
He's
rough.
trying to wave him off. He's standing in the background, forever.
Yeah,
Oh,
giving suggestions.
Yeah.
No dice. So yeah,
So
Kate
now-
and Jay's split.
Yeah, so Kate, obviously pissed, goes back to her mom's house to confront her. Kate's mom, was like, "I'm just looking out for you. You never heed my advice on these men." And she's like, "Well, Jay left me, so."
Yeah.
So it goes into a little bit more of a compassionate. She's comforting her on the couch.
Maybe you should listen to your mother more. And
Yeah.
Then we get Mrs. O'Brien's idea on the type of man that Kate should be dating.
Yes.
She suggests Mr. Drew Carey.
She loves Drew. Kate's mom thinks Kate should have been with Drew this whole time. She calls him the perfect guy right under her nose. In fact, the one line is, stop looking at the guys with the tightest butt and start looking for Drew. Yeah, no, that she thinks just Drew's stable. He's a good presence.
He's a solid guy.
He's everything that she talks about wanting.
And Kate's pretty turned off by the idea, not only because Drew is in a relationship with another woman
but
currently.
She's his best friend.
Yeah, they're too close.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same things that we've seen earlier in that. What was the other episode in the limo? And he was worried about like him being seen as a sexual object.
Yeah, well, she like got undressed in front of him or something.
And she wasn't phased.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this kind of, you know, she buckles at the idea of dating Drew. Then I guess smash cut. We're at the Warsaw.
I love this.
Yeah.
They are beyond hammered.
They're pissed, drunk.
I have never I'm like, God, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I want to be that drunk.
It's a weekday evening, and they're just fucked at the Warsaw.
They're slurring every single word. It's Oswald, Lewis, Kate, Drew.
The original foursome.
Drew's crew.
They're all the Drew's crew.
And they're all just absolutely trashed.
They're talking about Kate. Kate's commiserating about getting dumped.
Yes, but they're also commiserating / celebrating. I can't really tell. So Oswald, unfortunately or fortunately, passed his competency test.
So Lewis is not his daddy.
Lewis is not going to be his dad. He's pissed, and Oswald starts calling himself a doctor because he's legally competent.
He's a genius.
And so he can't get adopted by Lewis, and then
Kate's just kind of not talking about Jay, but also talking about Jay all the time.
Yeah,
it really comes to a boil when a man tries to put "Kiss from a Rose" by Seal on the jukebox, and Kate goes,
"I guess that was Jay and her song."
Oh, that's our song. So the gang drunkenly tries to confuse this man enough that he won't play. First of all, they just try pleading. Drew goes up there. He's like, "Hey, could you not play this song? She's gonna go into a tailspin if you do it."
Yeah,
and
he's like,
the guy's like, "No, I need to play this. I'm going to. It's my song with my girlfriend. I'm going to propose to her in the middle of it, and I'm going to." Does he say like Bosnia?
He's going to Bosnia.
He's going to Bosnia
tomorrow.
The next day. So it's now or never.
Yeah. And so. Also, I have in here that Drew yells, "I got a gun." I don't know what, but he doesn't yell that at the guy.
Oh, it's because there's a scene before the jukebox scene where Kate gets up on the table and tries to kind of flaunt. She does a little dance on the table.
Yeah. She's like, "Oh, I don't need Jay.
Yeah, look at me." And men are looking, and he's like, "Hey, stay away! Don't you look at her? She's drunk. I have a gun."
Anyway, so the jukebox thing.
They end up
Drew
successfully
ends
confusing the guy.
Confusing the guy, and then he gets a bunch of quarters, and he starts putting them in the machine.
Yeah.
And
just starts hitting one button over and over.
One button over and over and over
so that
again.
they can delay him playing the Seal song.
And then he sits back down, and then Kate's like, "It's okay. Jay and I don't even have a song. We have a color. Don't let him play red."
So
anyway,
rest
the guy,
assured,
he says, "Guy, you can play your song. It's fine." After Drew put 100 songs on, and he's like,
and they're like, "So what are we going to be listening to for the next hour?" And he's like, "I don't know, whatever K9 is." And immediately it just starts. It's a dog rendition of Jingle Bells, and it's all barking. And it is some of the worst music I've ever heard in my life.
Oswald just starts viciously, drunkenly kicking the machine.
Trying to shut it off. I did enjoy that. Just the idea they're all like, and he just starts attacking the machine. Oh, God.
So anyway.
Have you a jukebox at the bar guy touch tunes?
Oh man, no, I never do it. I appreciate the people that do. I was just at a bar maybe a month ago, and there was this guy. It was Jimmy's Corner in Midtown, and there was this guy who was sitting next to me, probably in his 50s, just kept pulling out all the hits. It was like old Rat Pack kind of shit.
Sure.
And I was like, it was really fitting the aesthetic of Jimmy's Corner is this dirty dive dump bar in Midtown.
Right.
But it's very old New York, and then all of a sudden you have Sinatra and Dean Martin and Louis Prima
lot of
and
big
a lot
band
of
vocal guys.
It was good.
That's nice.
And then he played America the Beautiful by Ray Charles. And I was like, okay, interesting. We got it.
Look,
whatever. We'll go with it.
That's the best patriotic song you can maybe put on. I'm trying to think. I mean, maybe Born in the USA, but you know.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty good. It fit the vibe a little better.
Yeah.
I like fucking around with touch tunes a little bit. But
you are. See, that's why I like going drinking with you, because I know
sometimes it'll get me in trouble.
You're gonna pull out the touch tunes, and
my
you'll at least throw in a Steely Dan for me.
I do like I Can't Buy a Thrill. You know, give me one of those. Give me something off of that. I've been doing Every Morning by Sister Ray. Is it? Every morning there's a
Shut the door, baby.
Sugar Ray, not Sister Ray.
Shut the door, baby. Don't say a word.
Yeah, it's very good. I went to the Elks Social Club with my girlfriend down the shore.
Ooh.
And they had a touch tunes, though I couldn't control it because there was a DJ who was doing a bingo.
You had to pay your dues.
Well, of course. But there was a guy doing trivia bingo who had hijacked the sound system.
Trivia bingo.
Yes. So trivia bingo is it's a bingo card.
It's a bingo card, but they have words,
and
answers.
He gives you a hint, and then you have to, if you get it, you got to cross it off. Phones were allowed, which kind of pissed me off, but I do get it because it's the trivia is kind of
people
secondary.
are stupid.
Yeah. You know. But anyway, I was thinking about putting some hip hop songs on at the Elks down in Cape May, New Jersey. Didn't think that was gonna go well though.
Drop in a little Kendrick.
They're not ready for Not Like Us. They don't even know. I do love a touch tunes though.
Yeah.
So anyway, Kate and Drew take a cab home because they got to work the next morning.
Yeah.
At Winfred Louder. So they're taking a cab home, and they have a flat tire. So they've been stalled for about 20 minutes on the road.
Yeah, wait,
Just
I didn't
walk
realize
home.
that's why they were stuck.
How far could you...
Cleveland, I guess, isn't a very walkable place.
I guess not, but is it that big of a place either? Like, I don't know. I guess
know.
maybe you did a cab. Maybe
we see them
highway.
constantly in cars.
But anyway, they're stalled, and they're drunk.
Yeah.
And Kate is feeling
some type of way.
She's
drunk. She's had all these conversations all day.
Mom's in her head.
So all of a sudden, she's like, "Hold my hand, Drew."
Yeah.
And then she leans over.
And she tries to ask how serious she is about Lisa, and Drew's drunk too. And she goes in for a kiss, and Drew's like, Nah, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's she doesn't have it. And you know, he's like, hey, listen, I just don't.
If this had happened years ago, sure, but come on, you're my best friend now.
While he's explaining all this, she just falls asleep.
Yeah.
So
my favorite line was, "This could work out, but we'd have to be drunk all the time."
It's also in this pivotal moment that we learn Drew didn't draw the pubes on those garden gnomes.
He covered
for Kate.
And for that, he's taken $50 out of his purse.
She's
purse
paying
to pay
for the cab. And then this kind of resolves itself at the office the next day. Kate and Drew have a discussion, and Kate's like, listen, can we let whatever happened last night? We were both drunk. And Drew makes up a big scene being like, oh, that meant nothing to you. I already called my mom, and I told Lisa, and I bought a ring.
And then in the middle of that scene, Jay and Kate's mom walk in together. And it turns out that Jay had called her, and they had talked it over, kind of. You know, they had a little argument, and then they had a little spaghetti.
Yeah, they had a little dinner.
And then everything all kind of got
She approves
resolved.
of him.
She approves of him now.
He shows that she cares about him.
He said
about
that he loves her, and that he thinks this will go on forever.
Yeah.
And
and that's where we end it. It's really nice.
But what's funny here is it makes you think that this was Drew's plan the whole time.
Yeah. Oh, right.
And
because Drew calls Kate in. This is how it all
and
begins.
she's like, what did you want? And then this happens, and you're like, oh, was that the plan the whole time? No, they genuinely just had talked it over and showed up at Drew's office because everyone just fucking shows up at Drew's office. But... no, it turns out they all leave, and I guess they had showed up just to ask Drew if he wanted to join them for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And then they all leave. Drew's plan comes in. It's a Drew Carey lookalike guy in the same crew cut, glasses, a little less portly, but like the same.
Yeah, same looking suit. I guess he basically took from the Kate interaction that she wants a guy
like that
Drew.
Looks like
yeah,
Drew.
That looks like him. So he's like, hey, where's this Kate you're talking about? He's like, buddy,
I'm not going to be able to do it.
I'm sorry, you're not
anymore.
going to be able to.
And on his way out the door, Bibi, of course, walks by, and she just like stares at him and stares at Drew and stares at the new guy. She's like, so much crap they had to start a second pile.
Get him.
And then the closing scene.
Oh, yeah. The closing scene is... Well, we should talk about this, I guess, because at the dinner...
As if these characters weren't dynamic enough.
At the dinner, the very first dinner that we have... Well, the second dinner, I guess, with Kate and Oswald and all that.
Yeah.
Kate's mom basically tells Lewis and Oswald that she thinks it's a waste of time for them to do that. Why wouldn't they use their God-given talents? Oswald, you used to play the piano like a maestro or something like that.
Yeah.
So the credits scene
and then, Lewis, what happened to your poetry?
Oh,
she says
that. She does say that.
Right after.
I thought he was just trying to...
Nope.
Anyway, so they have put together a piano and poetry routine for Mrs. O'Brien centered around the word...
Cockle.
Cockle.
Cockle stew.
Cockle stew.
Cockle, cockle, cockle stew.
Yeah. God bless.
They
this show at its heart is a 13-year-old boy.
I love that, like, they're Oswald playing the piano. What a great little character trait for the most absurd.
Sometimes he plays piano.
Sometimes he drops bombs
out
at the airport.
He's bombs at the airport. He's an everyman. He's more of an everyman than Drew Carey. Damn it.
Oh man,
I love it. So this is it. Those are episode 19 and 20. Pretty stellar all around.
Yeah.
The next episode.
How are they going to close this out?
Is the season
do we have
finale.
any like lingering plots?
No, not really. The Lisa and Drew thing was the biggest thing, but that seems to be resolved.
So I wonder how they go out with a bang here. It's
Yeah,
2 more episodes, right?
It is 2 more episodes. The
so
episode
maybe they set
titles,
something up and they bail.
Do we want to know the episode titles going in now? Episode 21 is Drew Gets Motivated.
Okay.
And episode 22 is just called Buzz Beer.
Ooh, I'll tell you what.
Mm-hmm. You got a theory?
Whenever we first started this, somebody reached out and said, let's crack open a few Buzz Beers.
There you go.
So this is going to be a thing.
Could it be?
I've also seen, like, I'm sorry to those who already know about Buzz Beer. I've seen like merch for the Drew Carey show,
and it's all
there's Buzz Beer glasses.
It's
and
like
everything.
their Duff beer. It's like their sort of like lager or whatever light beer of choice.
So maybe here's my prediction.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing nothing about the show,
yeah.
Drew gets motivated is Drew feels uninspired at his job. He's ready for a new step. He hasn't been promoted. He hasn't moved up. Nothing's happened this whole season. He wants to start something of his own. He's an ideas guy. We all heard about the Choo Choo Chug, the cake in the shower, waterproof cake. I mean, this guy has got ideas coming out the wazoo. Now,
He's like a 90s Mario Batali. He's just ready without all the unfavorable stuff. It's just
sharks. Have you ever wished you had a model train?
Yeah, that could also serve you a nice little light beer,
cold beverage. I bet you Buzz Beer, maybe the gang goes into business together, and they create their own beer.
I like that. I do think you're right. I don't know if he creates it so much as maybe he goes to work for Buzz Beer, but I think that makes sense. That tracks. I guess there's only one way to find out.
Brewing in a bathtub.
Brewing it in a bathtub with Mr. Bubble. I think there's only one way to find out, and I think it's going to have to be watching the 2 episodes. And the only way for you to find out, dear listener, because you can't... Well, I guess you could stream it.
Yeah, you could watch this
You could watch it before the next episode. But I think the way that you should learn is with us through this podcast.
This show, for what it's worth, is insanely accessible. And we will not tell you more, but just know that if you did the slightest bit of research on how to watch this, you could be watching every single episode.
If you were thinking, like, if there was like a project of some sort to restore the Drew Carey show, if you type search words into somewhere, you might be able to get it.
You might be able to find it.
I don't know.
But I'm just saying,
but
if anyone's like, God, I wish I could watch this show, you really can.
Yeah. I think that about wraps it. Don't forget, follow us on Instagram.
Yes.
Cleveland Rocks Podcast. We're posting clips. It's a good time.
Email us. ClevelandRocks@gmail.com.
There you go. If you got any fun little notes.
Is it Cleveland Rocks Podcast?
Cleveland Rocks Podcast at gmail.com. ClevelandRocks@gmail.com does not go to us, but if you want to email them too.
Yeah.
Why not? And hell yeah.
Tell them how much you like the show.
You can call him a Nancy boy.
Yeah.
And then we'll see you in the next one, I think. And the end of season 1. We
Oh
did
boy.
it. Not 8 to go.
8 to go.
We're gonna be 60 years old by the time we're done this podcast. Later,
kids.